Hi, I'm Robert Kam, the current host of Mission Nonprofit. But Mission Nonprofit has been around many years and it's had dozens of different hosts. On this episode, we're going to take a look back at some of the older episodes of the program. We pulled clips from some of our favorite episodes, but if you'd like to see the full episodes, tune into the TCTV Time Machine this month, Saturdays from 2 to 4 p.m. and Mondays from 3 to 5 on TCTV Channel 77. I'm going to start us out with a clip from an episode in 1998 when Mission Nonprofit interviewed its own organization, Thurston Community Television. Here's Deborah Vinsel hosting.
Now, Deb, recently you and I co-hosted the Harbor Days broadcast, live from Harbor Days. And it was interesting that right after we finished and as we were packing up, somebody came up to me and said, you know, you guys are missing a really good story. And I said, what do you mean? He goes, well, I live in a houseboat, and whenever there's Harbor Days afterwards, there's quite a environmental impact to Bud Bay as a result of all the boats, and you guys should do a story about that, he said. And I said, well, do you realize that there's very, very little that appears on a channel that is actually produced by TCTV staff? And I proceeded to tell him that what he needed to do, because it sounded like a great story, and that I thought the public would be interested in hearing it, that what he needed to do was come on down, become a member, take the training, and go out and tell that story, because he was right, it was a good story, but it wasn't for TCTV to tell it, it was for him to tell it.
Right. I think that's one of the beautiful things about community television and public access television is people telling their own stories, or telling the stories that they think, that they believe need to be told, as opposed to an editorial group making decisions about what information is going to go out on that conduit. So, do you have anything you want to add to that train of thought?
Of course, this show tonight is being crewed by people who have been through the training, and you just can't emphasize too much to people how easy it is to give us a call, to walk through the door, to learn how to use this equipment, and it's fun. Does the crew agree that it's fun?
We got a great crew here with us tonight.
Kind of fun, not too difficult, you know, a little challenging, but not overwhelming. And
they're like, this
nice
is the first show we've done.
And I don't know why more people don't come and get involved. And I know that I myself, since I stopped working here, and I did retire in order to actually get my hands on the equipment and have more time to do my own productions. And I never get over a sense of real enjoyment when I've got my hands on a camera, when I'm in the editing room, when my ideas are really working out, and I just love it. I love every part of the process of being involved in a crew, on my own, in the editing room, out in a big crowd, down in Harbor Days, that truck. You know, to be out at a public event, manning those cameras, it makes you just feel like you're, you know, somebody really important and powerful, and you are.
That's true. This next episode from 2001 features the Wrinkles of Washington, a nonprofit theater group for seniors. Hosting is Kit Adams, and the guests are Vaude DeVille and Joni Roper.
The seniors who participate in Wrinkles of Washington are, by and large, are not professional performers, as you said, right. And that's only one of the things that the people in Wrinkles of Washington do. So let's talk a little bit about what are the other things that people participate in here in our Thurston County area.
Oh, a remarkable variety of skills and backgrounds and talents that come to share their time and energy on the stage with us. The best example, perhaps, I make so many jokes about him because I can. As the villain, I get a chance to pick on the hero. Our Dr. Bob Williams, he's taller than I am, but that's the only thing he's got going, frankly.
It's prettier than you are, too.
Oh, all right. But he gets the hero roles, and I end up as the villain. I have no idea why. But Dr. Bob, in fact, is his professional title because he is in the medical community. We make the joke that he travels with us on our road shows in case we have any medical issues, like he's taken my spleen out several times. Unfortunately...
Was that on or off stage?
Yes. It, in the dressing room, it was an ugly sight. But Bob is the federal veterinarian for Western Washington.
How unique.
How unique.
And I want my spleen back, you know what I'm saying? But here's a man who has enormous responsibilities in his professional capacity. He's up at the airport all hours of the night because a plane load of parrots is in from South America or something. But he finds time to come and share with us his talent and his energy and plays saxophone like you wouldn't believe. I hate him.
Well, now when we're going to take a little break.
The date of our next episode is unknown, but it is believed to be from 2004. The guest is Capitol Playhouse. Here is Lynn Harmon Lumpkin interviewing Jeff Kingsbury.
How do you think the arts flourish so in Olympia?
I don't know. I don't know, but I'm really glad that they do. And I think that it is because it's, you know, it tends to be a very progressive community, thank goodness. And culture, in terms of arts and culture, I think are important to many people here. And so you have all of the levels. You have the people that want to present art, and you have people that want to have art in their lives. You have your audiences, you have your people that enjoy sculpture or a good acrylic work or encaustic paintings or those kinds of things that are connoisseurs of that kind of work. And so all of those art forms are elevated, and that helps us in the theater world as well as, I think, the entire culture.
Why are arts so valuable to a culture?
Well, they're indispensable. They're absolutely indispensable. They, you know, not everyone perceives things, or things don't resonate with everyone in the same way. Art, in all of its forms, has the ability to reach across different types of education levels, perception levels, and really touch the mind and the heart and the soul. Not everything can do that. Frequently when you're watching the news, your soul is not touched. You might get angry or annoyed, so it certainly has the capability to touch you on some kind of emotional level. But I think that the arts have music, dance, theater, visual arts have the ability to speak to something inside you that other things do not. So for those reasons, I think that the arts are important. And it seems really, you know, it seems really important to me. You mentioned nonprofit. To me, the arts should always be nonprofit. And I don't mean that someone shouldn't have a commercial success from the arts, but the very nature of nonprofits in our society are that they are in the business of enhancing the culture, and that's what I think arts should do.
Hope you enjoyed that. Now here is an episode from 2000 featuring the Miss Thurston County pageant with Deborah Vinsel as the host.
Tell me a little bit about your talent. You have a pretty unique talent that you are very good at too.
A very unique talent, especially to the program. I don't think anybody has done it. It's Irish step dancing. It's traditional Irish step dancing, which is along the lines of river dance. River dance is more the show, but it's the same kind of style and same technique. And I've been doing it for about 9 years, and I take classes out of Seattle with the Comerford School of Irish Dancing. And something I got into because of my heritage. Both of my parents are of Scottish and Irish descent, and so it was something that came naturally, and I've always done it for fun. And then when this came up and I needed a talent, I thought I'd just try it and see how it went.
Pretty perfect combination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Went together well.
The Downtown Farmers Market is a popular place in Olympia. Here is an interview with their executive director from 2000, Kevin Corbin.
Well, in the early 90s, there was a movement to say, this has been successful, and it seems that the community can really support a farmer's market. Let's do something more. Well, in 1995, the Olympia City Council did do more. They established a bond that allowed us to build an amazing facility down on the port property.
It's fabulous.
Real
it really
collaborative project to the credit of our entire community, I think. It showed great vision on the part of the council members, Olympia City Council, port commissioners, and our board at the Olympia Farmers Market to build a facility that's state-of-the-art and that really provides an avenue for local farmers.
So even today, it's a produce market, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's a true farmers market. You know, we not to get too into this, but we separate it out to be 75% produce and farm-related items, and 25% crafts.
And flowers, too.
Yeah, exactly.
Are the flowers categorized?
Well, the
with
definition of
vegetables
farming
and
is interesting. It's expanding a little bit because you can farm oysters, or you can farm flowers, blueberries. So it's expanding. But what it's essentially saying is the things we sell here are made locally, and that's what the facility is designed
and grown
for.
locally.
Yeah.
And there are organic stands there too, and so
Absolutely.
you can get just about anything. I was down there about 2 weeks ago. And you can even see theater there, because I saw, I thought actually that it was a public sculpture, but it was two people sitting in chairs who never moved. They had dark glasses on, but they were remarkable.
Yeah, those folks are great. And
They
that's the charm of this facility, is that this is the one place that the community is allowed to build community. They actually take part in it.
And to express it.
Yeah, we actually, you know, I hate to advertise this, but we encourage you to loiter. We want you to come.
You're here to advertise, Kevin.
I guess
Go
so.
right ahead.
We want you to come, sit down, talk to the neighbors next to you, see coworkers, buy some carrots, have lunch, have a great time.
Well, those folks were loitering, but they weren't talking too much.
Right.
But I tell you, they attracted quite a crowd of people, because we couldn't figure out if they were alive or if they were statues, if they were really art.
UCAN is a nonprofit in Thurston County dedicated to AIDS research and education. In 2004, they came on Mission Nonprofit. Here is Lynn Harmon Lumpkin hosting that episode.
So, if I go up and embrace a person that's positive, you know, is there a risk to contracting HIV?
Absolutely not. I think the only risk would be that you'd probably feel good.
If I drank after them, you know, if we were sharing a Coke, what would be the risk to me?
Absolutely not.
If I use the bathroom after them, what would be the risk to me?
Absolutely none. You know, and these are really good questions. It gives me an opportunity to talk about some of the education programs that UCAN offers. We have an education and an outreach coordinator who does trainings for folks who need licensure certification, 4-hour and 7-hour trainings. And if folks are interested in having any kind of educational presentation, as well as the Speakers Bureau, they could certainly give us a call, and we'd be happy to do some presentations. So.
Episode 246 features the Downtown YMCA, and it's hosted by Leslie Matthews.
Well, how do you go about determining what programs are needed? Do you do like surveys, or?
We listen to our members that we currently have, and we also go out to the community and find out through focus groups, through talks, and just by listening. The YMCA touches a lot of people that aren't necessarily members, because we're involved through outside programs. For example, the youth programs, Earth Service Corps, and Youth and Teen Government. Those are out in the community, and the people involved aren't necessarily our members. So we find out from non-members what it is that they're interested in. Through our child care program that the child care office does, we're also able to find out kind of what those families and parents would like out of our branch. And so it's a combination. YMCA has typically been known for the relationship that it has with its members in the community. Unlike a strictly health club, we have a variety of programs, and so we get to know people that are involved, and a lot of people start as volunteers or they start as members and become volunteers. And so they're our members and our volunteers and our board members in our community are many times involved in different forms with the YMCA. Their children may be involved with a tumbling program, their teenager with the late night team program that we have on Fridays, which is open to the community, and they may be involved on the board or taking a yoga class. And so I think we hear from different areas and get a lot of feedback, and we're definitely a member-driven organization, and so if a member says something is needed, we jump right on it and see how we can meet that need.
Next is an interview of the Pistol and Rifle Club with Richard Schwinder as the host.
This is actually on the range getting ready to fire. You can see the hearing protection. Now the club furnishes the mats, right?
Yep.
And here's your covered range. There's your range officer right there.
Yep,
so he's constantly walking back and forth, make sure there's no accidental sweeps or improper movement of the rifle. So it's extremely well regulated.
If you can hear him speaking, he is telling them every single movement they're making. He's telling them. You'll see almost all of these are the M1 Grand.
Well, there's for people that are interested in it, there's an old British infield there. But you can see the incredible amount of focus that's going on. There's no fooling around, no playing. Everybody's focused on what they're doing. It's not like what you'd expect to see in a Bruce Willis movie.
Well, you know, shooting is it's an interesting sport because it's you, your rifle, and your target. And the better you can concentrate, the more you can control your breath, the better you're going to hit that target. And that's the fun thing. It's fun to be able to hit something 200 yards away. Yeah, it's just the fun of shooting. I think it's a very enjoyable sport.
Well, in this particular case, nothing's holding that rifle up but you.
That's right.
And you have to get that projectile 200 yards away exactly where you intend it to go, and that's no small task.
No, it isn't. I enjoy the sound of the gun going off, a little kick, and all of the mechanical parts, and it's a you might call it a very right brain type sport, but it's a lot of fun.
Well, what part of the brain would you call cleaning it? That always follows shooting it.
Yes, it does. Direct in proportion. The more you shoot it, the more you clean it.
The Timberland Regional Library is a nonprofit that spans a huge region from Grays Harbor to Thurston County and beyond. Episode number 275 of Mission Nonprofit featured the Timberland Regional Library. It's hosted by Kit Adams.
Now, I'm really curious about how Timberland Library started.
Well, back in 1964, throughout the state, there were several places where they tried an experiment, had a pilot project to see if several counties could actually come together and agree to have a library system with a single governing board. So they formed Timberland with 27 libraries, and it covers 5 counties, over 7,000 square miles. That's as big as Connecticut and Rhode Island combined.
Good grief.
And we all work together and provide the best library service that we can provide.
So it's Thurston, Mason, Lewis,
Grays Harbor, and Pacific.
That's a huge territory to manage, first of all. But anyway, you're providing a service that Benjamin Franklin would really be proud of, I have to say. So now let's talk a little bit about what Timberland, first of all, I want to know where the name Timberland Library came from. Do you know?
Well, it's because in this part of the country, most of the agriculture that goes on here is timber.
Yeah. Okay.
And at the time that we were formed, a large percentage of our funding came from timber harvest.
Okay. I've always been kind of curious about that, so I'm glad I got to find out, and I'm glad our viewers got to find out as well. So let's talk about what the library actually does for our population here in Thurston, Mason, Lewis, Grays Harbor, and Pacific counties.
Well, Timberland connects learning to life. That means we give out information that can help you solve a problem, make a decision, change something in your life. We provide information, we provide resources, and we provide help for people who are looking for a job, trying to decide which college they want. And of course, we can always help you find a good book to read.
Well, and the other thing too is the people who work in the system, in the Timberland library system, are I can't say enough wonderful things about them. My branch, as I told you when we were talking before, is the Tumwater branch. And the people at the Tumwater branch are just fabulous. They just really are the kindest, most considerate people, and they will go any extra mile to help you. And as a client of the library, I really appreciate that.
Oh, I think that's wonderful. We actually have 375 employees throughout the district, and all of them, any one of them, would stand on their head and gargle peanut butter for you if that's what you needed to get the information that you needed to make a decision.
They really do work hard.
The Thurston County Food Bank strives to end hunger in Thurston County. Here they are in an episode of Mission Nonprofit from 2000.
There are all kinds of reasons why people come to the food bank. Possibly they're on public assistance and food stamps and their food stamps have run out, but people can have incomes but not have adequate income to meet their needs on a given month. For instance, I could have a good salary one month, but because of bills, car repairs, medical bills, especially with the seniors when they have to get their medicines, there are just some months you can't make what you have stretched other months.
Yes.
People on Social Security, disability, unemployment.
Fixed income.
Right. Surprisingly, about 40% of the people that we see come to the food bank, we see once and we never see them again. They're there to be helped when they have that little crack in the system somewhere, and then they never come back.
Well, you know, I tell you, that is one thing. I went to I was telling you, I went to the food bank when I lived up on Orcas Island, and I can't tell you how grateful I was. And then when I got on my feet, I just felt so good that I had that as a resource.
Right. And a lot of times we see people who have had that resource come back and either volunteer or donate back. And we don't feel that that's a necessity at all, and we don't tell people that they need to do that. But it's wonderful to see people get back on their feet and see the results of maybe that we help them along the way to make that possible.
I'm sure the kids in this next clip are a bit older now. Here are the Girl Scouts on Mission Nonprofit from 1999.
Well, how do you feel, how long have you been a scout?
For 2 years, I guess.
2 years. And do you feel that it's been a beneficial experience for you? Has it been a helpful experience? How has it helped you?
Helped me make more friends that were there.
Good. Well, that's wonderful. Well, let's talk about your try-it for just a moment.
The one
this is Mariah's favorite try-it, by the way. And tell me how you earned that.
I went to the zoo with all my Girl Scouts.
Show the camera the try-it again, so we can get it. Hold it so we can see all 4 of them. There you go. Okay, there you go. Can we get a close-up of that? Okay, go ahead. You went to the zoo.
I went to the zoo with my scout troop, and it was just with the dads. Even our scout leader didn't come.
Oh, it was dads and daughters? Oh, that must have been fun for you, huh?
And we got a guide, and she told us about all the different kinds of animals, and we had a good time when we were. One of the funniest things were there's this animal there that we went by it and something squirted one of the dads. And nobody knew what it was until they looked down and they got squirted in the face.
Uh-oh. Which animal was it? Do you remember?
No, but
maybe it was a camel or a llama?
It was like in water.
Oh. Spitting water at them, yeah.
A huge gooey duck, maybe.
That might have been a really big one. I think you might grow up and have your own comedy show eventually. What do you think?
We're not sexist here at Mission Nonprofit. If we have the Girl Scouts on the program, we're also going to invite the Boy Scouts. Here they are from 1997 with host Leo Baldwin.
Welcome back to the second segment on scouting, and we're going to be talking with Nick Geiser a little bit more about scouting. He's an Eagle Scout. We introduced him to you in the last segment. Maybe, Nick, if you could just recite the Scout Oath for us to start out this segment.
Sure, Lou, no problem.
You want to give the Scout sign?
Okay. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country and obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight.
And I think there's another piece that Scouts memorize.
There's
probably
Scout
a lot
law.
of them. Scout law?
Yes.
Would you like to recite that? Can you
Sure.
recite that?
Yes, I can. The Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent.
Thanks, Nick.
No problem.
You did a good job.
And what's
Thank
the
you.
Scout motto, Nick?
The Scout motto is to be prepared.
Correct.
Yes.
And what's the Scout slogan?
Do a good turn daily, and every time you do a good deed, there's a coin, which I happen to have in my pocket, that once you do a good turn a day, you take it out of one pocket, and it looks like this.
Has the Scout emblem on this side.
And on the back it says, "You make the difference."
It says you make the
You
difference.
make the difference.
You make the difference.
Yes, you do.
And you stick it in your other pocket until you do another good
One
deed.
deed's worth 10,000 words.
That's true.
That's all for this episode of Mission Nonprofit. Remember, you can watch the show on Thursday nights at 7:30 and Sunday at 4:30 p.m. only on TCTV Channel 77. If you want to see these episodes in their entirety, tune in to the TCTV Time Machine this month, Saturdays from 2 to 4 and Mondays from 3 to 5 p.m. only on TCTV 77. I'm Robert Cam. See you next time.
Thank you.